Imagine for a moment that everything we know about our solar system, the rules of motion, the predictable dance of planets, the path of comets, suddenly breaks. That's exactly what happened today, March 3rd, 2026, at 14 UTC. 4 hours ago, an event occurred that has a 0% chance of being natural. NASA's Deep Space Network and the Goldstone Observatory picked up something extraordinary, a separation from the object we once called Ceni Atlas. For months, we assumed Atlas was a simple comet, a tumbling rock drifting through space. But what we saw today defies every law of physics we hold sacred. Picture this. A car driving down the highway suddenly loses a perfectly spherical component. If it were just debris, physics demands it drift away, tumbling into the void. Momentum must be conserved. But that's not what happened. When the metallic sphere, now called Object Beta, detached from Atlas, it didn't drift, it accelerated. In the vacuum of space, without visible propulsion, no exhaust, no heat signature, it increased velocity by 12 kilometers per second in an instant. That's not falling. That's maneuvering. That's something deliberately moving. I've spent decades studying theoretical physics, analyzing forces, cross-referencing data from NASA, JPL, and ESA's Gaia telescope, and the conclusion is chilling. Natural objects do not perform high-G maneuvers. Rocks don't change course. Yet here we are. Object Beta is now on a trajectory toward Earth's high orbit, aiming precisely for the L1 Lagrange point, a stable spot where it can maintain an uninterrupted view of our planet. This isn't an accident. This isn't debris. This is observation. The mass readings make it even more terrifying. When it detached, the gravitational perturbation it caused revealed a density that defies our periodic table. Heavier than lead, yet moving like it weighs nothing. Atlas isn't unusual anymore. The question isn't whether it's strange, it's what's inside that sphere, and why is it in such a rush to get here? To understand the magnitude of this, let's rewind the timeline. At 1355 UTC, 5 minutes before the separation, Atlas moved at a standard 34 kilometers per second. Goldstone's radar saw a jagged, tumbling rock boring, unremarkable. But at exactly 14 UTC, everything changed. Typically, when comets break apart, it's chaotic. Explosions, dust, ice, debris, scattering, entropy at work. But Atlas didn't explode, it opened. A portion of the main body shifted mechanically, and from it emerged the sphere. No dust, no chaos, no tumble. Smooth, precise, impossible. Verification came fast. NASA's Deep Space Network detected a Doppler shift showing two objects moving at different speeds. Gaia confirmed a wobble in Atlas's center of gravity. Then, the James Webb Space Telescope's near-infrared camera detected a temperature anomaly. Normally, a detached rock is hot, glowing in the infrared. This sphere was colder than the surrounding space, near absolute zero. Frictionless separation, internal cooling, or perhaps something more advanced, stealth technology in full display. And then came the shape. Goldstone radar revealed a perfect, mathematically flawless sphere reflecting signals like a mirror. A carrier deployed a smaller, colder, perfect metallic sphere without explosion. 10 minutes later, it stabilized. Its rotation locked directly at Earth. This is not debris. This is a machine waking up. The next chapter reveals something even more staggering. This object is about to rewrite the laws of physics. And once you understand the forces at play, you'll realize that what we're witnessing is not just science, it's a demonstration of technology far beyond anything humanity has ever built. At 14:15 UTC, just 15 minutes after the sphere detached, The laws of physics themselves seem to bend. Newton's principles, 300 years of reliably predicting motion, were shattered in real time. An object in motion should stay in motion unless acted upon. To speed up or change direction requires force. Yet object beta, moving initially at 34 kilometers per second, suddenly accelerated to 46 kilometers per second in under 20 seconds. Think about the energy needed for that. To propel a mass of this size that fast with conventional rockets would require fuel tanks the size of skyscrapers. And yet, there was no exhaust, no heat, no chemical reaction, nothing. The sphere simply moved, as if it had gripped space itself and pulled. This is what theoretical physicists call propellantless propulsion. Equations exist for warp drives and exotic metrics in textbooks, but today we saw it in action, and the acceleration wasn't the end. At 1417 UTC, moving at 46 kilometers per second, the sphere executed a sharp 1/8-degree course correction. At that speed, turning normally would crush any conventional object under 400 Gs of force. To put it in perspective, a human pilot blackouts at 9 Gs, fighter jets break at 20 Gs, even advanced missiles disintegrate above 100 Gs. Yet the radar data shows object beta remained perfectly intact. This tells us two crucial things. First, the material isn't ordinary. It's stronger than diamond, designed to withstand unimaginable stress. Second, the object has inertial dampeners. Any delicate machinery or potential life forms inside would survive because the sphere manipulates gravity to cancel inertia. This isn't a natural object. This is a gravity-controlled machine performing maneuvers that no asteroid, comet, or human-built spacecraft could survive. And why these maneuvers? Once we projected its trajectory, it became horrifyingly clear. The sphere isn't headed for a random orbit. It's aiming for Earth-Sun Lagrange, point 1 L1, 1.5 million kilometers from Earth. L1 is the ultimate observation post. The gravitational pull from Earth and the Sun cancel perfectly, allowing a satellite to hover indefinitely with a complete view of the planet. Nature doesn't park at Lagrange points. Comets don't calculate trajectories. This was deliberate, calculated, and precise. Mass is another mystery. Based on gravitational perturbation on Atlas, the sphere is about 10 meters across, roughly the size of a small house, but its density is staggering. If it were rock, it would weigh 1,500 tons. Iron? 4,000 tons. But the data says 400,000 tons. That's the density of degenerate matter or stellar cores. Heavy, yet it moves as if mass doesn't exist. The only explanation: the sphere isn't using conventional propulsion. It's manipulating the local gravity field to move, effectively generating a gravity well of its own. This isn't just alien technology. This is general relativity weaponized in a way humanity has never witnessed. By 1530 UTC, spectrometer readings arrived from KK Observatory in Hawaii and the James Webb Space Telescope. And what they revealed is even more alarming. The sphere isn't just metal. It's made of an alloy that shouldn't exist naturally. The primary component is osmium, the densest naturally occurring element, but scaled to a 10-meter solid shell. To construct such a sphere, you'd need to mine an entire solar system. On top of that, traces of technetium, a radioactive isotope not found in nature, were detected. Only supernovae or nuclear reactors produce it. The implications are clear. This sphere is a manufactured machine, designed with precision beyond earthly capability. Its purpose? Observation. Its technology? Inertial dampening, propellantless propulsion, and materials that make it nearly indestructible. And the way it's moving, it's not just approaching. It's targeting, calculating, and executing a mission we barely understand. By the time it settles at L1, this 400,000-ton sphere will have a perfect, uninterrupted view of Earth, silent, invisible, and untraceable to most instruments. And yet, in the past few minutes, it has already made contact, not with us, but with the stars, sending a compressed neutrino burst toward a star system 1,400 light-years away. A signal, a report, a confirmation. It didn't communicate with NASA. It ignored humanity entirely. This probe isn't exploring. It's scouting. And it has just confirmed that we exist. As Object Beta moves into position, the data from every telescope, radar, and observatory paints a picture that is both mesmerizing and terrifying. The Goldstone radar tells us the sphere is not a rough rock, as all natural objects are. Instead, it returns a signal that is sharp, coherent, and mirror-like, something only achievable with a perfectly smooth surface. The reflections indicate a flawless sphere, polished to a fraction of a millimeter, something nature does not produce. Rocks crumble, ice sublimates, comets fragment, but this sphere is perfect. It is a machine, a purpose-built vessel designed to survive, observe, and report. The thermal readings are equally baffling. Ordinarily, a separation event in space releases energy, producing infrared signatures, heat, or at least residual radiation, but Object Beta remained colder than its surroundings, nearly at absolute zero. No heat, no energy loss, no friction. The only explanation is some form of active thermal masking or internal cooling system, something far beyond human engineering. A frictionless, silent, stealthy separation executed with precision. The sphere did not just detach, it emerged fully operational, fully aware, fully controlled. Rotation and orientation add another layer of complexity. 10 minutes after detachment, the sphere stopped tumbling. Natural space objects spin on multiple axes due to collisions, gravitational tides, and chaos. Yet Object Beta stabilized, aligning its rotational axis directly at Earth with 0.04 degree precision. Every other natural object would still be tumbling, but this is no ordinary object. It is actively pointing, actively targeting, and actively preparing. The orbital mechanics reveal just how deliberate this movement is. By performing a sharp course correction at 46 kilometers per second with g-forces exceeding 400, the sphere defied both structural limits and every law we thought were absolute. Materials on Earth would crumble under these forces. Electronics, if present, would be destroyed. Only a structure with unmatched tensile strength and inertial dampening technology could survive. Gravity itself is being manipulated to cancel the destructive forces of acceleration. The trajectory calculations show something even more unsettling. The sphere is heading for the Earth-Sun Lagrange point 1L1, where the gravitational pull of the Sun and Earth balance perfectly. Here, it can hover indefinitely, observing Earth in real time. No natural object targets Lagrange points. No comet, no asteroid, no piece of cosmic debris charts this path. This was calculated, intentional, and precise. The sphere is not a visitor, it is a sentry. Spectrometer data adds the final proof. Analysis from KEK Observatory and James Webb shows a composition unprecedented in the universe. A primary shell of osmium, the densest naturally occurring element, combined with traces of technetium, an artificial radioactive isotope. On Earth, osmium exists in tiny amounts. The sphere contains hundreds of thousands of tons. Technetium does not occur naturally in comets or asteroids. Together, this confirms the sphere is manufactured, not natural, and designed for reflection, shielding, and durability far beyond anything humanity can produce. This is a machine built for invisibility, observation, and endurance. Its reflective surface, almost perfect, allows it to vanish visually and from radar, while its mass dense beyond comprehension enables it to manipulate gravity itself. By the time it reaches L1, it will be virtually undetectable, yet fully operational, with a perfect, uninterrupted view of our planet. Once at L1, the sphere will achieve its ultimate goal, the perfect observation post. From this vantage point, it can monitor Earth 24/7, undetectable to conventional satellites, telescopes, or radar. The implications of this are staggering. A single object, smaller than a building, now has the ability to watch, measure, and analyze everything we do in real time, and it will remain there indefinitely. The precision, the technology, and the purpose are unmistakable. This is not exploration, it is surveillance. And yet, even beyond stealth and observation, the most alarming discovery came just minutes ago. The Green Bank telescope in West Virginia detected a directed neutrino burst. Unlike radio waves, neutrinos pass through matter almost entirely unimpeded. This burst was not aimed at Earth, NASA, or any human communication system. It was aimed 1,400 light-years away toward the Cygnus constellation. The sphere did not report to us. It reported outward, sending information about our planet to an unknown recipient. This is no exploration probe. This is reconnaissance. Consider what this means. Every maneuver, every acceleration, every correction, the choice of L1, the stabilization, the stealth, the neutrino transmission was deliberate. It confirms a level of intelligence, design, and technological mastery far beyond human capability. Propellantless propulsion, inertial dampening, hyperdense materials, perfect reflectivity, thermal cloaking, gravity manipulation. This object represents a level of engineering that seems to defy known physics. And the mass anomaly remains one of the greatest puzzles. 400,000 tons compressed into a 10-meter sphere is not just dense. It is a form of degenerate matter, previously only theorized in the cores of dead stars. Yet it moves freely, maneuvers sharply, and performs accelerations no conventional spacecraft could survive. The sphere is not constrained by ordinary forces. It is actively controlling them. This is a machine capable of rewriting the rules of motion around it. Optical telescopes confirm the final detail. The surface has achieved near-perfect reflectivity. With an albedo of 0.99, to the naked eye, it would vanish against the backdrop of stars. Light, radar waves, even thermal signatures, almost everything is reflected or deflected. From Earth, we can only detect it indirectly through gravity perturbations and the rare neutrino burst. This is stealth perfected. And yet, despite its power, its purpose is clear. Object Beta is watching Earth, gathering information, remaining completely silent. It doesn't signal humanity. It ignores us. But it has transmitted something far more significant, proof of our existence, to another system in the galaxy. Whatever intelligence created, it does not need to negotiate with us. It only needed confirmation that life exists here. As it settles into L1, the sphere becomes a permanent sentinel, a machine capable of observing, analyzing, and reporting on our planet forever, while remaining invisible. This is not a fleeting visitor. It is not an accident. It is a permanent fixture in our solar system, a monument to engineering that defies comprehension. The next part will explore what the arrival of such a probe means for humanity, the strategic implications of being observed, and the terrifying realization that we are not alone and someone, somewhere, is already aware of us. As Object Beta settles into its gravitational parking spot at L1, the full scale of what we are witnessing begins to hit. This is not just a machine. It is a sophisticated observation system engineered to monitor Earth indefinitely, silently, and invisibly. Every detail of its behavior, the perfect spherical shape, the extreme density, the precise alignment toward our planet, the reflective surface, the propellantless propulsion, the inertial dampening speaks to a level of design that no natural process could produce. This is intelligence made tangible, operating on scales, and with precision humanity has only dreamed of in theoretical physics labs. And yet, there is an even deeper layer of complexity. The neutrino burst aimed at the Cygnus star system, 1,400 light-years away, tells us something critical. This sphere is part of a network. It is not a solitary probe exploring for curiosity's sake. It is a scout, a device built to confirm life and intelligence here on Earth and relay that information to a distant civilization. Whatever entity created this sphere is advanced beyond comprehension, capable of manipulating gravity, mass, and motion to achieve surveillance and interstellar communication simultaneously. From a physics standpoint, every anomaly defies our conventional understanding. The mass-to-motion ratio, the ability to perform high-G maneuvers without structural failure, and the near-perfect inertial dampening all suggest a level of mastery over gravitational and quantum forces that pushes far beyond current human engineering. This is a machine that can bend the local space-time fabric using its own mass as a tool for propulsion and navigation. It accelerates without fuel, turns without stress, stabilizes in perfect alignment, and hides from observation, all while monitoring Earth in real time. The strategic implications for humanity are sobering. This is not a warning, not a message, and not an act of communication with us. It doesn't acknowledge our presence directly, it ignores us completely. Its entire mission is observational, a calculated reconnaissance run, and with its perfect position at L1, it will continue to watch Earth for the foreseeable future, gathering data and sending information across the stars. The presence of such technology means that if a civilization exists far beyond our reach, it already knows we exist and we have no way to hide. As scientists, we now face questions that go beyond physics or engineering. How do we interpret its intentions? How do we respond to an intelligence capable of building something so advanced, so utterly beyond our comprehension? And the most frightening question, if this is a scout, how many others might already exist, silently observing, silently evaluating, across our solar system, across the galaxy? The data leaves no room for doubt. Object beta is not a natural phenomenon. It is a machine, a probe, a sentinel, a demonstration of technology that exceeds all human capability, and its deployment and arrival are calculated, precise, and intentional. Every movement, every adjustment, every neutrino transmission, all of it confirms one truth. We are being watched by an intelligence far greater than our own. As the hours pass, and Object Beta remains locked in its L1 position, the reality settles in like a weight across the global scientific community. We have observed a 400,000-ton sphere of osmium engineered with alien precision, manipulating gravity, remaining invisible, and transmitting data across interstellar distances. The very concept of propulsion, mass, and motion as we understand them has been rewritten before our eyes. What was once theoretical warp drives, inertial dampening, propellantless acceleration is now real, tangible, and operating within our own solar system. The implications for humanity extend far beyond physics. For the first time in recorded history, we know we are not alone, and someone, somewhere, has confirmed our existence. Object Beta's neutrino transmission was not aimed at us. It did not communicate with Earth's governments or space agencies. It sent a report, likely a reconnaissance update, to a distant civilization. Whoever built this probe is aware of us, and their knowledge of our existence has been verified. We are being studied, observed, and catalogued. And yet, the sphere remains silent, cold, and invisible to conventional detection. Its perfect alignment with Earth, its reflective surface, its high-density mass, and the manipulation of gravity show us that any attempt to intercept or approach would be futile. This is a machine designed to survive, to gather data, and to remain untouchable. In practical terms, it is a permanent sentinel in our solar system, a constant reminder of intelligence and technology far beyond our own. The physics alone are staggering. A small one, 0-meter sphere, heavier than any natural object of its size, accelerating without fuel, changing trajectory under forces that would obliterate conventional materials, and now perfectly aligned at L1. The spectrometer data confirms it is a nearly pure osmium alloy doped with technetium, a combination that could reflect light, radiation, and even gravity waves. In short, it is effectively invisible, impervious, and operational indefinitely. And yet, its mission is clear: observe, analyze, and report. As we step back and view the broader picture, one fact becomes unavoidable. Object Beta is a sentinel, a scout, and a confirmation of our existence. Humanity now knows, without doubt, that an intelligence beyond comprehension has taken note of our planet. Whether this presence is hostile, neutral, or simply curious is unknown, but the evidence is indisputable. We are no longer the sole observers in our solar system. We are the observed. This is the reality we face. A perfectly engineered alien probe now stationed at L1, silently watching Earth, transmitting data across the galaxy, demonstrating technology that bends gravity and defies known physics. Its arrival is a turning point in human history, a reminder that intelligence, civilization, and technology exist far beyond our own understanding. And now, as we process these unprecedented discoveries, one thing is clear: we must watch, study, and prepare. The universe has made contact not directly with us, but through observation. The sphere is here, it is watching, and its mission continues. Humanity has a choice: learn, adapt, and understand what it means to be seen in a galaxy where we are no longer alone. If you want to stay informed about this ongoing event, witness the latest updates, and understand the physics and technology behind Object Beta, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join us as we follow every development in real time. This is not a story from science fiction. It is happening now, and every moment counts.